Hello, my name is Ashley, this is Faithful Ratters and welcome back. So, in today's video I am going to do a short little vlog. Usually when I vlog I do sort of a combined vlog where there's like a bunch of stuff happening. That's not the case today. I'm just going to do like a little vet vlog. So Asriel, my Russian blue boy, he is 20 months old now, so he's on the older side, and he's a bit of a wonky boy. So he's had a couple of ear infections in his life, and as a result of that has a head tilt. He's also had respiratory infections, and his eye has been a little bit off for the past couple of weeks, and it's nothing major, nothing scary happening. However, I'm just a bit suspicious, and I would love a vet to check it out, do like the little measurements that they can do when it comes to the eye, because it's just not looked right a couple of times. So he has history of it being full of porphyrin or like goop, not all the time, but enough that it's a pattern. He also, when he looks up in it, his eyeball goes too far up. It's very strange, and I can't really explain it, and I haven't really been able to get a video of it either. But when he looks up, you can see the white of his eye, which is like the blue bit, the sclera of his eye, too much, in a way that you just don't see in the way that his other eye doesn't. And the other day, his eye looked like it was popping out for like 2 minutes, and then it stopped, and I wasn't able to get a video of it, and it was a very strange experience. So I'm just wanting my vet to check it out. So we're going to go to the vet practice today to hopefully get it checked out. Hopefully it's nothing, and hopefully it'll be a waste of money. However, I'm not willing to mess around when it comes to eye things, and I just want to be sure, because when it comes to eye things, it can go quickly wrong, and I just want it to be checked out. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. His appointment is at 8:45 a.m. 8:45 a.m. which is really early, so it's about 8 o'clock now, so I'm getting ready to book my taxi and go, and I'll keep you updated on how it goes. So, this is Asriel. He's a bit honky. He's honky on and off, especially in times of excitement. As you can see, he's a wonky boy, aren't you? You're a wonky boy. And his eye is just, don't think you'll be able to see. His eye is just not quite right, so we're going to go and get checked out, aren't we, bud? Yes, we are. So I'm back home. Asriel and Kiri are back in the cage, and I just thought I'd update you about what happened at the vet. So she obviously had a very good look at his eye, and I told her about the symptoms, about the fact that it looks like it's going too far up when he's looking up, and that we had that one moment where it looked like it was like almost like it was boggling, like it was just out of place, and it was like popping out, but not because the eye itself is enlarged, like it was being physically moved. So she had a look at him, and obviously I explained the situation. I showed her some of the videos that I had of his eye and the weirdness, and she agrees it does look weird. There is porphyrin around it and porphyrin staining, so there's consistent porphyrin there, and yeah, it's just a bit weird. So we talked a lot about what it could be. She said it could be to do with his head tilt and like the positioning of the eye. There could be something behind the eye causing it to be out of place, so something like a tumour or an abscess. We talked about the possibility that it could be neurological, which is a bit more unlikely because it's just one eye having the problems. So we talked about things that we could do. So we could do a CT and we could do an ultrasound. However, it's not likely to give us any sort of answers, really, and change our treatment plan. If it's an abscess, we could try treating it with antibiotics, but most antibiotics aren't very good at penetrating an abscess sac, so it's generally quite difficult to actually treat it that way. Sometimes an abscess will drain itself, and that would be a good thing. Another possibility is it's a tumour, and usually in this type of position they're usually cancerous, which is obviously quite sad, and they're usually quite viciously cancerous, quite malignant in how they act, which means that removal, especially around the eye socket and the very fragile bones of the face, is quite difficult. So even if we did try to remove a tumour, if there was one, it may not work. And also, unless we do like really expensive tests, we can't really find out if there actually is anything there. So we could go in and try and take the eye out and like see if there's anything behind there, but obviously surgery is a risk. He's getting a little bit old now, he's 20 months old, and surgery for the sake of it is not something that I'm really fond of, really, because obviously there's the anaesthetic risk. But if we go in to do the surgery, take his eye out, and there's nothing there and his eye was fine, I don't know, I don't think that would be the right decision. So what we're going to do for now is monitor, try with some anti-inflammatory, which I already have, and just see how it goes, because it's not really changed in the past 2 weeks that I've noticed these symptoms, so hopefully it will stay that way. It could change, and we could need to go in and take out the eye or change our treatment plan, but at this point in time it's not causing him any overt problems. The anti-inflammatories should handle any pain if there is any, and I would rather be I'd rather hold back a little bit than go full force at it and do something that's not necessary and, you know, make him recover from a surgery that he doesn't actually need. So we're going to keep an eye on him, see how it goes, and I'll try and get a good video to show you of his weirdness, which is probably going to be really difficult, but I'll do my best. And I'm also going out this afternoon for my partner's hospital appointment, but that means that we can go to the reptile shop, which is nearby. So I may go up there and show you some of the reptiles and the little buggies. So another thing, this is random, my boys, I've mentioned it as a lot, aren't very good at digging in their bioactive base. So I've decided that I'm going to try and see if putting worms in there will help keep the soil turned, because obviously the worms will do that a bit themselves whilst they're going about their life, but also it may encourage the boys to dig if there's worms in there for them to dig and eat, if that makes sense. So we're going to go and see if they have any worms there. If not, I'll order some online, but it's always nice to go there and check out the animals and, you know, look at their bugs as well. They have quite a big selection of inverts, which is really fun, and they're a really, as far as I can tell, a really responsible, good local reptile shop. So yeah, I'm probably going to put that into this video, and I'm probably going to leave it there. If you want updates on Asriel, do follow me on Instagram. I do post things there. I don't post every medical situation that happens because I think it's a little bit repetitive and nobody wants to hear about all the things that happen. But yeah, I will probably update on there as well. So, see you on So I don't know what I last vlogged. I think it was probably in the reptile shop. I bought some worms and stuff for the cage, which I'll probably show you me putting them in and stuff tomorrow and close out the vlog. But I just wanted to share this moment of my daily cuddles with Cheeky. She's eating a bit of chocolate because she's a little old lady, and we do give a little bit of treats every now and then. And she's just so cute. Like every day she asks for her cuddle. She waits there and she looks at them, looks at us, and either I'll go and get her or Rat Dad will bring her to me if I'm reading or something. But she's just the sweetest little rat I've ever had, and she's just perfect. And I'm so grateful that I have had the chance to meet her because she's just wonderful. She's just wonderful. She just climbed up there. You right, babe? Is that the spot you want? Is that the vantage spot you need? So as you can see, my boys don't really dig. Now, Toast has done a little tiny digging here by this tunnel, but there's not a lot of digging going on. So what Rat Dad came up with was a very clever idea in my opinion, and that is to bring some earthworms into the mix. Now, the idea behind this is that either the earthworms will turn the soil themselves as they move around, but also it may encourage the boys to dig for them as a snack so they get into the habit of digging and then perhaps start digging again. I'm quite tempted, I feel quite stressed saying this online, but I'm actually quite tempted to switch my boys back to regular substrate. And that is only because they themselves, they love digging. They just don't dig in the bioactive soil, and I feel like it's a missed opportunity if I can't get them to dig. So this is like one of my last chance shots, because even putting in tunnels and things doesn't seem to work with this group of boys. So I think one of my last sort of like hurrah is one of these worms, and then when we have babies, baby boys over the summer, I'm going to try them, see if they will dig, and if that doesn't work, then I will be calling it quits for Bioactive for my boys. My girls, however, love it. They do absolutely wonderful with it. They love digging with it. The boys just don't. And there's actually something that I've heard before, that people who also do like Bioactive, that their boys had been Bioactive and they didn't they just stopped digging, whereas they'd switch them back to like a normal substrate and they dug with that. So what I'm going to do is first is use my spray bottle to spray the surface. This is what it looks like. It's like a reptile nozzle sprayer. You have to like pump this and then the water will spray out. So I'm just going to wet the surface of the soil a little bit. Then I'm going to dig the soil around, wet it again, add the worms, dig it around and wet it again. And as you can see, over the years, the bioactive soil just gathers a bunch of like things in it. So like substrate, there's shells in my bioactive soil from when I gave them oysters. There's this bit of fabric that they've chewed off that's ended up in there. Substrate, the little leaves from the garlands that I've been using recently. And yeah, so anything that they can gets into the soil, and it gives it a great texture. So it's just such a shame that the boys aren't using it. And then my trusty trowel that has been nibbled on, because what hasn't around here. So I'm just gonna turn the soil, because the problem with them not, well, there's two problems with them not digging. The first is I feel like they're missing out on behaviour they should be enjoying. And the second thing is, if they're not digging the bioactive soil, then it dries out much quicker. Which is not a problem per se, but it does require me to do this, which is a job that if I didn't have to do, I would like, to be honest. And previously, when Lacquer and Maccabee used to dig, I didn't have to do this job. I did, you know, water it every now and then, but I didn't have to become a digger and dig myself. So there we go. And we're going to come back when I've got the worms. So, I thought it was recording when it wasn't, but I put all the worms in there, and obviously Kiwi-chan is here. I'll show you. Here are a bunch of them. I don't like the feeling, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig around so they end up somewhat buried. And then one more time, I'm just going to give it a spritz. Just to make sure. Okie dokie. So we've come to the local woods to get some bramble for my sick insects, and also to check out on the pond to see if there's frog spawn, and there is frog spawn and frogs. Yay!
Look how small they are. That's smarter doing it here.
So we found it. Rat Dad found it. Well, I spotted it and Rat Dad came over. But where they usually are, oh my god, there's so many of them. Where they usually are is on the other side of the pond where we went to. They've been there, I think, 2 years we've seen them there. Maybe the last year when we didn't see them, maybe they were here. It's a frog!
This one came out of the bush a bit.
Got it. Froggy. So, I hope you enjoyed that little nature segment of the vlog. Rat Dad here was very, very adamant that we see the frogs, and we were over at the other side of the pond and we couldn't see them, and that's where we've seen them in the past. Last year we didn't see them. Now I am suspicious that maybe it's not that they weren't there at all, it's that they're in this new spot and we didn't notice them. So that's exciting. I'm sure to come and check on the spawn and the frogs to see if they're still there in the future, and I will put that in a vlog if I see the spawn and little baby frogs, won't we? So I just wanted to show you, hi Grover, that they have their dinner in an egg box today, don't you? Tushy, you've got to help everyone. You got to help everyone. Come on, help people open it, then you can have dinner. Yeah. And the girls, they have their dinner in a Tim Hortons donut box. Seems like they've got inside it. But yeah, so they've got their wet food in this today because I did not feel like having to wash their bowls afterwards. And these girls are really known for burying bowls because there is a bowl in there buried. Isn't there? Isn't there? Hello. So, that is the end of this vlog. It's probably a bit shorter than my usual vlogs, as there wasn't really much in this vlog. However, I have missed vlogging, and the rat scene around here recently has been pretty chill, which has been lovely. It's meant, you know, not a bunch of vet visits, nothing crazy going on, like we're all just chilling, loving life. It's been pretty great. However, it does mean that there's nothing really exciting to vlog, because I don't think people really want to see me feed my rats like 3, 4, 5 times in a vlog and then, you know, play with them. Oh, if you do want to see that, let me know. I am thinking about doing like a day in the life video, like a day in the life with my 18 rats. If you'd be interested in watching that video, do let me know. I will warn you now, there will be definitely clips where my hair looks crazy, because when I feed them in the morning, I go back to bed. So I'm going to have bedhead, which I think I've shown on this channel before, but just, you know, just fair warning. And yeah, so yeah, recently it's been really nice. Like the rats haven't been doing anything like crazy, like there's not been necessarily like any vet visits. Like we have had some, but they all been sort of health checks with Adele. So in December we had everyone's health check as it was due, and then when Cheeky came she had a health check, and then when our foundation girls came they had a health check. But that's just to get on Adele's scheme so that we can see her when necessary. It's not something that I think is an absolute necessity when it comes to rats, but it is a nice peace of mind, and it does allow Adele to do virtual appointments with us and stuff. So that's why we do that. It's been really like nice, like just to have the rats and enjoy them and like just go about my daily life. We've found a much better routine in spending time with them and like letting them have free roam. It just wasn't working having everyone free roam all at once. And obviously not everyone all at once, I mean like each cage all at once, it just wasn't working. So we give them attention as and when, because we're in a lot of time. My new job that is going to hopefully be starting in April finally is also a work from home job, which is good in the sense of being able to spend time with the rats all day and every day, but not good for my routine I don't think, but we'll see how it goes. So we're here all day and my boyfriend's here all day, and it means that they can get the attention when they want it, and they can have like a different experience every day. And it does mean that those rats that don't want to come out, they don't have to. And I'm not feeling sort of like guilty that they don't want to come out, because I'm only getting them out when they want to come out, if that makes sense. So I could do a video about that if you're interested. But yeah, I feel like I'm just rambling a little bit now. So I'm going to go and probably upload all this footage onto the computer and make a start of editing. Probably listen to my audiobook. If anyone has finished the new Hunger Games book, Sunrise and the Reaping, and they want to scream with me in the comments, please do. I read that this week and sobbed. It was incredible. Like obviously it was really sad, and we knew it was going to be really sad, but to like see what happened, like, and just like it was just really sad, but also I think really poignant and really timely. The messaging about AI and deepfake, messaging about propaganda and lies and control and things like that, I think was incredible. And a lot of people, I think, are missing the point here with what Suzanne is trying to write. Anyway, I am going to make this relevant by putting a picture of Cinna on the screen, because obviously he was named after a character in the Hunger Games. But anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks very much for watching this vlog, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!